we got Blake Griffin and the Clips on deck tonight. Going up against him, you almost just hope you don't end up on a poster. But I've never been one to just get out the way. I'm ready to step up, no matter the consequences. Gotta earn my stripes sometime, you know? Here we go.
Sunday afternoon with the NBA here on 2K Sports. Welcome, everyone. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. And Doris Burks on the sideline as well. Looking at that last game for the Los Angeles Clippers, it was a win against the New York Knicks. And boy, they got by the skin of their teeth there, winning by 1 point. That was a battle.
Well, it doesn't always have to be
Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for DeAndre Jordan. Johnson comes in for Blake Griffin. Paul Pierce is checked in for Jeff Green. And it's Crawford in for J.J. Redick. Paul and Crawford pair up at the 1 and 2. Johnson is out there with Pierce, and it's Aldrich in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Here's Dellavedova. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Lakers.
And also, his assist total tells you about the job he did of keeping his head up and keeping his teammates involved.
Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut to just 1 point on the basket from Freak. Paul with the ball. 11 points in the game. Aldridge kicks to Paul. That's good from Crawford on the assist by Paul. Crawford's got the lead up to 3 now for the Clippers.
Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number 1 for them right now.
And here they go. Paul with the bucket. Paul's got 13 points.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Freak, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. The Cavaliers shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
Free throw good. Freak. And he can't hit the second. Now here's Paul. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against New York.
And Kevin, a remarkable night for him passing the basketball as well. He did a great job racking up the assists.
And we're through the first half of basketball here, and what's been a good one. Clippers lead by 4. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Hi, Kevin. Well, Doc, as we get into the second half, what do you expect to see from this offense you're facing tonight?
Well, they're moving the ball. They're just playing to the hot hand, and we got to expect that. So
well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out away here in the third. We'll go for a different look here. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Jordan. Pierce comes in for Blake Griffin. Wesley Johnson's checked in for Green. And it's Crawford in for Paul. On the court for Cleveland, Freak in at shooting guard. Mozgov is out there with Channing Frye. Then there's Iman Shumpert. And it's Dellavedova in at the point. He dishes it to Mozgov. And Pierce pulls it down. Los Angeles leading by 9. No one near him. Cavaliers with the rebound. Their last game a win against the Lakers, looking to carry it into this one.
Their percentage from long range in that game was off the charts. It seems like anytime the fans got a little hostile, they just started to take it up a notch from beyond.
The bombs were really falling, weren't they? I mean, great shooting, especially when you consider it was on the road.
For Cleveland, they have made their free throws at a pretty good clip. They've hit 8 of 10. First one falls for them.
They're locked in from the charity stripe this half. Not a miss yet.
And trying to cut into this lead, they need every edge they can get.
The Cavaliers making a switch here. Thompson's checked in. Los Angeles has gotten off to a very slow start from three-point range in the second half. They're 0 for 4. The Cavaliers trail by 7.
And they can guarantee this is the last possession of the quarter if they hold it.
And I'm guessing that's exactly what they're probably going to do here. Great adjustment to avoid the D. That's hard to stop.
The Cavaliers have been getting it done at the line, 10 for 12. And that one misses. Crawford against Shumpert. Crawford outside. He kicks it to Pierce. Again, Pierce missing. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the 4th. Who will carry the day? Los Angeles on top. They're up by 5. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The 4th quarter of action getting started. So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, Clark, made the difference.
Well, you know, at this stage, you've got to defend your home floor, and they did that.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris.
Chris, how does a win like this help propel the team at
the 2K Sports postgame show?
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Blake Griffin.
Is there anyone in the NBA who's more straight up scary than Blake Griffin? I don't think so. Big, strong, powerful, with the skills to match that athleticism. If you're a defender in the post and you see Blake Griffin coming down the lane, the only thing you think is, uh-oh.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.
Yo, Freak, what's up, baby? What's up? We see you.
Yo. What up?
Basquiat, let's go. Got that R for y'all, that real spit. They call me Basquiat. The Harlem take my pockets full of fat knots, making all the ladies drop. Paint these street corners green. My bank notes look hella bill scene. Half man, half amazing. Hope you send me out the demigod. Halo crown with the dollar sign, got a pulpit. A ghetto saint with grand designs, call me focus. Before the Basquiats, the streets is hopeless. I'm that Harlem Saint painting pictures, making new kind of skill, banking up to 12 figures. They call me Basquiats, pockets full of fat.
I never had this feeling with any.
Tough matchup tonight. We could very well end up facing these guys in the postseason. So it's important to learn what we can and show them we're not about to back down. If we get it done here, it'll give us that much more confidence if we see them again. The stakes are raising every day at this point, so I better man up.
at point. At 6'3", number 7, Goran Dragic. Number 1, Chris Bosh. The big man at 7'0", number 21, Hassan Whiteside. And number 3, Wayne. Eric Spoelstra is your head coach.
Welcome to Noche Latina here in the NBA. A Latin flavor to the night's festivities as we get ready to go. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. And with the road trip approaching, the Heat will play their final game of their homestand. It has got to be a relief to see Joe Johnson back in uniform, playing healthy and ready to go.
Kevin, it's really good to have him back. I mean, they played well without him. Now the issue is, can they integrate him into what they were doing when he was gone and become even better? That's always a delicate balancing act.
They really hit on something.
Amari Stoudemire is checked in for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosh. Richardson is in for Goran Dragic. So on the floor for Cleveland, Freak in at shooting guard. Mozgov is out there with Channing Frye. Then there's Iman Shumpert, and it's Dellavedova in at the 1. To the left wing, and here's Frye for 3. That's good. Frye's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat. But he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Eric Spoelstra. And what'd you find out, Doris?
Well, guys, in terms of their focus coming into this one, he said he's expecting their defense, especially on the interior, to be vital. He said we can protect the rim with our shot blocking. Of course, we prefer to keep them outside the paint, but that capability to deny finishes certainly could come in handy tonight. Kevin, we'll see if he's right.
Terrific, Doris. Thanks, guys. What's your take on that?
You know, I think it's probably the way to go. The defensive approach suits their style and their personnel. So I think you go with it.
Yeah, and you stay true to your identity, and theirs is clearly at the defensive end.
To the wing right side. Mozgov, a screen on Richardson. And there's the 3-second violation. .124 left to play in the first quarter. For the 3. The shot is off. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
A lot of firepower coming off the bench in that game really allowed them to escape with victory.
I thought the bench was the X factor for them. You can't rely on that kind of scoring coming from the reserves every game. But when it shows up, it's a nice weapon.
Johnson dishes to Richardson. The feed to Johnson. The shot no good.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
You know, they got the shot they wanted, but his defense, I mean, deterred them from those plans.
For 3, Frye. They get it again. Shumpert passes to Freak. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
Cleveland shooting their first free throws here tonight. And he knocks down the first one. Both shots good from the stripe. Miami's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Good.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Dellavedova kicks to Freak. 13 feet away. And it's off the back rim. No good.
And being that close to the hoop, I thought he had enough room to finish that one. That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And at the end of one, both teams putting up some points. Heat lead by 1. And we got a chance to hear from LeBron James about the hard work and preparation he brings into every game.
I go back and I'm able to, read the scouting report, and also when I get to the arena, I also watch more film on each and every guy that's going to be playing, guys that I know.
I think you'd have to say the preparation really shows on the court in his play and rarely. And a new group in for the Heat. Amari Stoudemire, he's checked in for Whiteside. Deng comes in for Johnson. Richardson, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And it's Tyler Johnson in for Goran Dragic. So on the floor for Cleveland, Freak in a 2-guy. Amon Shumpert is out there with Channing Frye. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. And it's Mozgov in at the center, locking down the middle. Amari Stoudemire, with a change of scenery last season, was bought out by the Knicks, signed with the Mavs midway through the season.
That was the best thing to happen to Stoudemire, in my opinion, Kevin. He got to play playoff basketball again, and we know that wasn't going to happen in New York.
Dishes it to Fry. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. The Heat leading by 3.
And for Stoudemire last year, served as a backup big for the Mavs and was still as efficient as ever.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
Moves back up, and a nice bucket inside from Mozgov. Mozgov's got his first bucket of the night.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him. I don't think Stoudemire will ever be what he once was, but he is a valuable big to bring off the bench for a contending team in limited minutes.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Heat.
Well, I like the fact they've already been getting a lot of high-quality shots in the paint.
Yeah, also, though, they've done a good job of pounding the offensive glass for second chance points.
The Cavaliers trail by 4. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And it's Freak missing. The Heat have gone 8 of 13 in the second quarter, well above the 50% mark from the field. Deng gets a wide-open look, and again, it's the Heat missing. For Cleveland, they've gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the second quarter, just under 50% shooting. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The Cavaliers have been solid at the line so far, 4 for 4.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
And both free throws good from Freak.
Boy, they're really battling, guys. Not sitting back, being aggressive, attacking when they have the chance. I like that.
Man, I like their approach to the game right now. There's tremendous aggression on both ends, putting the onus on the officials.
And he gets it to go.
What a big-time mismatch it's been in the post. Where's the defensive adjustment? They're getting housed down there.
Yeah, something's got to change. A double team, maybe a substitution. But this is getting out of hand.
Stolen by Bosch. Pass to Richardson. 11 feet away. Bosch misses. Well, it was Miami winning their last game against the Charlotte Hornets.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have. Their interior defense has been dismal.
Yeah, they're losing the battle in the paint.
The Cavaliers trail by 4. Here's Dellavedova. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Magic in Orlando. Here's Freak. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dellavedova. 6 points for Freak. And here is Johnson. Lets it go from deep. No good on that last second attempt there. And the first half comes to a close.
Gentlemen,
no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now. In for Whiteside. Johnson comes in for Chris Bosh. Richardson, he's checked in for Luol Deng. And it's Tyler Johnson in for Goran Dragic. Richardson is out there with Johnson. Then there's Dwayne Wade. And it's Stoudemire. And it's Johnson in at point guard. It's the group on the floor for Miami. The Cavaliers trail by 8. Here's Freak. Excellent D from Wade.
And look, Joe Johnson last season, not his best statistically, but boy, did he show some heart. I mean, he was one of the catalysts for Brooklyn making the playoffs, especially when Brook Lopez returned healthy and the two could play off of one another.
It's stolen by Wade. And here we go. Richardson heading to the hoop. That pushes it to double digits. Richardson's got 12. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Heat.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, their second chance points have been a story all night as well. That's just pure effort and hustle.
And it's going to be a 3-second call. And with this opportunity, we can show you this season's top shot blocking teams. Number 1, the Heat.
You know, sometimes a team, Kevin, will have one guy who does a nice job blocking shots. Other times, a guy finds ways to get other players involved in shot blocking. Well, this team does it as a group. That's why they're the league's best in block shots.
And the foul called on Freak. That'll be his second foul of the game. Cavaliers making a switch here. James is checked in. 1:04 left in the third quarter. Pass to Richardson. Too long in the paint. He's hit with a 3-second violation. The Heat have made 5 of 10 free throw attempts. A lot of misses.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well. Just about 75% from the line.
And guys, that allows their opponents to play very aggressive defense if they choose to, knowing it's not a bad thing to send them to the foul line.
Tries a 3 off the inbound. That's in, coming off the assist from Johnson. Richardson's got 8 here in the quarter.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Greg, no question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep.
Fader on the way. And the shot no good, a bit short.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Johnson against Shumpert. Back to Wade. Up and in on the layup. Wade's got 12.
They just can't miss. Everything they put up, it seems, goes in.
You know, sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. They are certainly the bugs tonight. Nothing going their way.
And I'm not even sure that I'd want to be the windshield.
No, maybe the windshield wiper.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Cavaliers shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one. And he shows the focus there, nails the technical. Here's Dellavedova, and it is good at the buzzer. Wow!
Nice shot there without a second to spare.
You know, as a defending team in that situation, it really irks.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. A different look for Miami. Stoudemire comes in for Luol Deng. And it's Richardson in for Goran Dragic. So on the floor for Cleveland. Freak, he's in at shooting guard. Channing Frye out there with Iman Shumpert. Then it's Matthew Dellavedova. And it's Mozgov in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Bosch. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in. And the Heat lead by 18.
Well, if it wasn't out of reach, it is now, thanks to that last little spurt.
And why put the brakes on now? I just say keep on letting it fly.
Wide open. Here's Mozgov. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. They get Hassan Whiteside.
He is one guy you do not stand in the way of when he decides to attack the rim.
Johnson with it. Johnson outside. Back to Johnson. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. They poured it out.
Dwayne, how did you get
the 2K Sports postgame show?
Kevin, much appreciated, and now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dwayne Wade. He found his rhythm in the second half, and there was no stopping him then. And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille...
Yeah, send him in. Cece.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you again.
My pleasure.
Freak. Great game last night.
That's what I do, right?
Indeed. Have a seat. Pagnotti.
Yvette, please.
This is it. The last game of my rookie season. Kind of hard to believe. These 82 games have gone by in a blur. I know we're on the outside looking in when it comes to playoffs, but that doesn't mean I can't go out and give it everything I have one last time. So here goes nothing.
To bring you Wednesday night coverage of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg. This game marks the end of the stretch at home for the Cavaliers, back on the road tomorrow. Last time these two teams came together was also in this building. They were able to win it for the home fans. And for sure, they're looking for the sweep of the season series. A win tonight would do it. They lead 3-0.
And what a heck of a performance for them, particularly offensively. I mean, there were stretches of that game where everything seemed to be falling.
Ball movement was superb, majestic, and they got good shots and they made them. So it wasn't a surprise, but the ball movement was the key. Here we go.
And it's the Pistons to start out. For Cleveland. For Cleveland, they've gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. On the floor for Detroit, Jody Meeks out there with Reggie Bullock. Then it's Johnson. Then it's Aaron Baines. And it's Tolliver in at the 4 slot.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Here's Dellavedova. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Now here's Freak. Tight defense on him. From outside, off the mark. Pistons leading by 4. Bullock passes to Meeks. Johnson, a wide open look. The three-pointer is right on target. Johnson's got 5.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it. And guys, he's not the tallest or most imposing wing player, but Stanley Johnson has incredible strength and really unmatched confidence. One reason why so many were high on him in the draft.
Baines dishes to Meeks. A chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. The Cavaliers trail by 7. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Osgood with the bucket.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Here's Bullock after the basket by Timothy Mozgov. Shot's good.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical dominant performance out here. They are in a zone.
Here's Dellavedova. He averages a bit over 6 points a game, and he gets it to go. Dellavedova's got his first points of the game.
It's like everybody is in a rhythm right now. Incredible stuff here early on.
Both teams playing downhill. You know, coaches say that all the time. You want to play downhill. Well, at some point you think somebody's got to cool off in this one, right?
Great three-point shooting here out of the gate. That makes 4 makes already from long distance.
String music scorching those nets. How long can they keep this up, though?
There's a screen. Here's Freak. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. The scoring fast and furious as we end the first quarter. Pistons lead by 8. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Quicken Loans Arena. We caught up with Kyrie Irving earlier, and he talked a little bit about expectations for himself and his teammates. Kyrie reminding us that it's not just the expectations of the fans and the media he and LeBron deal with, but also, and Clark, perhaps the most demanding of all are the expectations that they've got for each other.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, two guys who expect so much of themselves to start with, who naturally have...
And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Hawks had a difficult game. He dropped in a handful of points, and he also added a few assists as he set up his teammates as well. He never seemed to find his rhythm and ended with an abysmal shooting percentage. We'll see if he can bounce back here.
Thank you, Doris. And just not the game he hoped to have, guys.
And I know he felt like he let his team down with that performance, and I'm betting he comes out here tonight with a lot of extra motivation.
Absolutely. The competitor in him is going to lead to playing with a chip on his shoulder. You can count on that.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season, they didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
1:49 left to play here in the half. And they double up Jackson. Here is Tolliver. Mozgov covering. Great open look there. 6 points for Reggie Jackson. Greg, you just said the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15 and 29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
The Cavaliers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And they've been ordinary on the season as well, just about 75% from the line.
No good on the second free throw.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
And maybe cause some foul trouble along the way as well. And we know what that can do. It pays off typically in good fashion for you.
And the Pistons making a change here. Bullock's checked in. 1:15 left to play here in the half. And the shot is good. Bullock's got the lead up to 8 now for the Pistons.
They ran that inbounds play perfectly there to get the quick hitter.
They set the screen. Fry with the ball. Tolliver on him. Here's Dellavedova, and it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Well, they're not shooting as many from outside here in the second quarter.
They were shooting well early on. I like their spacing. I think they should get back to that.
The Pistons making a change here. Drummond's checked in. Off the screen, and he comes off the screen and swings it through.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. The Cavaliers trail by 7. Shumpert with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. The feed to Freak. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Johnson kicks to Jackson. With 1 on the clock. That'll do it for the first half. The Pistons on top.
Well, Tristan, what do you take?
The second half just about to get going here. If you look at Tobias Harris, he has really been playing well.
Yeah, the rebounding particularly.
So for the Pistons, Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Drummond. Johnson comes in for Morris, and it's Reggie Bullock in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measured 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan, and he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
Freak in at shooting guard. Mozgov is out there with Channing Frye. Then there's Iman Shumpert, and it's Dellavedova in at the point guard. So that's who's on the floor for the Cavaliers. And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletically.
You talked about the raw physical tools. Then you factor in the 2 things as a big that I really value: great hands and quick feet. And he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him, as they say.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Here's Dellavedova. He's got 5. At the elbow, it's Freak to tie. Misses off the right iron. So for the Pistons, their last game a loss to the Heat.
Yeah, they were just pounded on the inside, particularly on that backboard. That was a huge disadvantage for them.
Well, that's always a disadvantage when you get blasted on the glass. They needed to do a much better job of getting inside position. And if you can't do that, it's going to be a long day on the backboard.
And that one's good.
And finally, they fought themselves back to even the score. We've got a new ball game here now.
And really, all the momentum is theirs, making such a strong comeback. So I think you've got to really feel good about their chances the rest of the way.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
41 seconds left to play in the third. Rebounded by Jackson. Pistons leading by 3. Here's Johnson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Yeah, it's good to see him with his free throw percentage up over 80.
Yeah, guys, I mean, he's been a very steady hand for them when it comes to his free throw shooting.
Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for Mozgov. So we can't get either to fall.
You know, Channing Frye signed a 4-year, $32 million contract in 2014. And in the very first leg of that contract, promptly had his worst season in 5 years. In fact, he even lost his starting job along the way.
Really, really good at recognizing the gaps and getting the ball to the rim.
Detroit's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Outside Jackson. Pass to Bullock. Lets it go with the 3. Can't get it to go. That concludes the third quarter. It continues to be. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. The Pistons leading. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth. Irving against Jackson. Thompson passes to Freak.
At the line for your Cavaliers, Freak, taking 2 shots.
He hits the first one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
All right, D up after this one, all right? Let's go.
And both free throws good from Freak. Caldwell Pope kicks to Jackson. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
That's right. No other option but to foul and hope for some misses.
Yeah, they have to extend the game. I mean, plain and simple. Use every second you can on the clock here.
And so it's the Pistons who come out on top here. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey, y'all. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith. And Andre Drummond.
Well, Andre Drummond asserted himself in a big way in this game. He is a terrifying presence, and tonight he was fully motivated and engaged. His rebounding on...
And that'll do it for our coverage of this year's final regular season contest. It has been a